without further ado, I'd like to hand over to Susan Hawthorne from Spinifex Press and to introduce the book and Spinifex.
Hello, my name is Susan Hawthorne, and I'm the publisher at Spinifex Press, along with Renate Klien, who's the other publisher. We founded Spinifex in 1991, and we are a radical feminist press and have been publishing lots of books across fiction, poetry, non-fiction for 30 years. So this year is our 30th year. In Australia, when we open events, we do an acknowledgement of country. We respectfully acknowledge the wisdom of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people and their custodianship of the lands and waterways. We're speaking today, Renate and I, from Juru country in far north Queensland. We also acknowledge the many women throughout history who have fought for women's freedom and the freedom of lesbians, often at the cost of their lives. If you want to go and check out Spinifex, you can do it at www.spinifexpress.com.au. So I'm so pleased that we are publishing Doublethink, a feminist challenge to transgenderism. Historically, Jan knows more about this subject than anyone else. Back in 2019, when I was writing a chapter on breaking the spirit of the women's liberation movement in my book, Vortex, The Crisis of Patriarchy, I returned to read The Transsexual Empire with its intense scrutiny of the field back in 1979. The overwhelming change that has occurred since then is that there's been this shift from mainly men undergoing transition to a huge uptake of young women, many of whom, probably most, are young lesbians having transitional hormone and surgical treatments. Back in 2000, I was really grateful for the existence of the Transsexual Empire when I was a member of Melbourne's Women's Circus, which was set up to work with women who were survivors of sexual assault. In that year, a man applied to join the circus. His request was taken seriously, and despite many other reasons for denying him entry to the circus, it was discussed over months and months, and it resulted in a deep division, and a number of us decided to leave the circus at that time. I wrote an open letter to the members of the circus, and I finished it with a copy of The Transsexual Empire by Janice Raymond, should be purchased by the Women's Circus and lent out to members interested in reading about the view that trannies, as we call them in Australia, and women's organisations don't mix. I hope that in this time, women confronted by the aggressive colonisation of transgenderism will take the opportunity to read Doublethink. And just one final thing, one of the things I really love about Doublethink is its beautifully relaxed style. It is a fabulous book, and we at Spinifex are very pleased to have it on our list. And I hope many of you will order a copy of Doublethink, share it, talk about it in groups, put it on courses, and discuss it with your friends.